We are here with Tim Conlon from the Computer Nerd. Good morning, Tim. How are you doing?
Good morning. Doing great. How about yourself?
Excellent. Thank you. All right. So we are talking this morning about kind of some myths people have about computers. You know, they seem like foreign objects to some people. So you're here to explain some of those for us.
Exactly. Everybody knows the computer is such a powerful tool, and
absolutely.
Everybody hears all these rumors and stuff about viruses or the right way of powering it down.
Absolutely.
And for like laptops and phones, you charge them, and I mean there's a bunch of different myths out there, and
okay.
I mean it's good to know these couple things. To be sure that you're getting the extra longevity out of your computer.
Absolutely. All right, we'll clear some of these myths up for us. All right, now I've heard lots about powering down computers, things like that. Do you have to power down the computer every day? Can I just hit the button? Do I have to do start, shut down, all that stuff? How does that work?
I mean, there's definitely several different methods. It's kind of right down the middle. This is one of those myths that it's like, it's kind of up to how often you use the computer.
Okay.
So if you use the computer a lot and you're not away from it much, I don't really see too much of a need for shutting it down other than if you get like some sort of thunderstorm coming or something like that if you're using the computer. But all in all, if you're just one of those users that checks their email and their Facebook and then goes away from it for several hours throughout the day and everything,
you might want to power that
down. You might want to power it down. It doesn't hurt to, because all in all, you're using electricity and everything like that at the same time every time the computer's on. So if you're not going to use it, I mean, it doesn't hurt to shut it down or hibernate it. Hibernate is a good feature because that in essence shuts it down, but it remembers exactly what was up on the screen when you left it.
Oh, okay. So it kind of shuts the computer down, but still remembers it.
Exactly.
I don't know. I feel like there's a word that I'm looking for, but it's Monday and it's early, and I just can't.
Hibernate is a good word. That's the one.
All right, now tell me, if I'm just kind of going back and forth and using it throughout the day and things like that, will the computer overheat if I keep it turned on?
No, computers are built to run a long time. I mean, especially things like servers and everything like that. Computer processors, they got fans on. They're meant to be cool. So, in essence, turning it off and turning it on more often could be also doing a little bit more damage as well because you're cranking up the system and it shuts down from hot to cold to hot to cold. So sometimes leaving it on is just equally as good if you're using it more often.
Now you were saying that if people kind of use it for a couple hours, or they're not using it for a few hours or several hours, about how long is a good time frame to know if you should be turning it on or keeping it off?
I mean, at least a couple hours. I mean, if you're going to be gone, like an 8-hour day, you use it in the morning, go to work. I mean, it doesn't hurt to, because you're using 8 hours worth of electricity and it's getting hot and everything like that. And then, of course, if you're using a laptop, if you're using it like on the ground or something like that, and you happen to walk away from it, definitely shut it down because laptops, if you're blocking the vents or anything like that, and you walk away from it and leave it unattended, you can definitely
so those are definitely important to turn off.
Yeah, if you're using it in an inconvenient place.
Got it.
Absolutely. But if you just have it on your office desk, it don't matter. It runs cool enough.
Okay, now we've been talking a lot about turning them off and on. Sometimes my computer, I don't know what it does, but it just has a mind of its own. And I try and power it down, you know, the start, shut down, restart it, things like that. And I just get fed up with it. So I unplug it from the wall and pop out the battery and just restart it completely. Is that bad for me to do?
If the computer is in the middle of a process and the hard drive's cranking away and you cut it off like that, you're cutting off something that's moving at 7,200 RPM with all sensitive materials in the inside. And if
I probably shouldn't do that anymore.
Yeah, I mean, if you have no other choice and it won't shut down and you've been working on it for 5 minutes and it's just stuck, yeah, you can definitely powering it off, unplugging it, holding down the power button for 5 seconds. Because that's the only thing that you can do. But on normal practice, don't do that because...
Try and have a little more patience with it.
Yeah, because you may end up doing some damage to some of your files or your hard drive and stuff like that because, like I said, sensitive materials and you're just
I didn't realize it was going that fast. Oh, gosh. All right, now, again, talking about shutting it down, protecting my PC. I have a laptop, but you were saying... maintenance, things like that. How should people go about doing that?
I mean, typical maintenance, such as like charging the batteries. Nowadays, a lot of people have the rumor that when you're using a laptop, you have to charge it full and then let it
drain. Yeah, let it drain completely.
Heard that one. Those are the older batteries. Now batteries, most of them are lithium-ion batteries. They don't have a memory to them. It is good, maybe like every 30 charges or so, to let it drain and yeah, just so it can kind of recalibrate itself.
Okay.
But for the most part, you don't really have to worry about charging it to full and letting it drain completely for any of the newer laptops out there. At least 5 or 6 years old or newer.
Okay.
You're going to have lithium ion in it, so you won't have to worry too much about doing that.
And those batteries, the lithium ion comes standard?
Yeah, that's pretty much a standard battery out nowadays, just because its technology is so much better. You don't have to do that anymore.
Smart. All right, now for laptops, is it good to have it plugged into the wall and be using that cord, or is it better to run on the battery power?
It is better to, if you have a wall, it's better to plug into a wall, just because even though the battery doesn't have memory, it only has limited amount of charges. Batteries don't last forever. The more you charge it.
Batteries are expensive. I've gone through a couple of them. Oh man.
Yeah, they are. They range anywhere from $79 and up, but it is a common thing over 3-4 years period of time that the life in itself is naturally going to get shorter and shorter. That's because if you're using it, discharging and charging it a lot, then it's fine. But if you're leaving it plugged in, there's automatic sensors in it that once the battery's full, the computer tells it to stop charging it. So therefore, it's really not doing any damage.
All right, awesome. Well, tons of myths explained for us this morning. Thank you so much, Tim, for coming in this morning.
No problem at all.